Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with my good friend Dana from Hen Lane. How you doing, Dana?
I'm great. Thanks, Michael, for having me this morning.
Oh, absolutely. This has been like the money show for us. We talk about security deposits up front, repair requests. Now we're going to talk about the little dirty little secret called partial payment and why both of us recommend you don't really accept them most of the time. So when you hear partial payments, what do you think?
I think professional tenant.
Yeah, me too.
So this is the tenant who knows the laws better than you. They prey on DIY landlords because they know that their process might have holes and gaps in it, and they most often will make sure that any hole they find in your process that will put them on the side of the law, even though it's not right, that they're able to take advantage of that. And so one, to your point, is partial payments. If you accept a partial payment, so your rent is $1,500 a month and you accept $1, you can't serve an eviction notice. So that delays the eviction by a whole nother month because you have accepted part of the rent.
Mhm.
And that's a technicality. You'd say, oh, but they've been living there and $1 doesn't even cover day one. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you accept it. Yep.
Exactly. And so where you see this is if you're accepting rent via Venmo or PayPal or Zelle or even direct deposit. You give your routing and account number, they can deposit $10, $100. And so while you think, oh, my tenant's behind, at least I should get some payment. Some payment is better than no payment. That's actually completely inaccurate. This tenant is just going to fall farther behind and farther behind, and you're going to have 2 to 3 months of lost rent. It's better to set that expectation that upfront you owe the full amount. If you don't, then we're going to have to go through that eviction process. And with that, if you need a loan or something like that, I'm not a bank.
Mhm.
I'm not going to loan you those couple of days. You can go talk to your parents. You can go talk to your cousins, any relatives. You can go to a bank and get a loan to pay the rent. But
Mhm.
we have a legally binding contract for this to be paid. And so by default, most property management systems, including our own, will make it where it's full payment only by default. And that way they pay the full amount. And that will help you avoid professional tenants. If they see you're using a system that they might question, oh, I can't get by with that. And then on top of that, it sets yourself up for system. You might be like, oh, they were always paying me $10 less than they should. If you always have it where you have a set amount and they always have to pay that every month,
Mhm.
you make sure you're always getting the full amount. And it makes your property management much more passive.
Yeah. I strongly recommend new landlords only accept full payments. We've done that for most of my career. We did make some exceptions in 2020, given what was going on, but only for the clients. Because again, we reached out to all our clients who identified where the challenges might be, and we agreed to weekly payments. I think on a dozen tenants, maybe 13. I think it was 13. 10 of them, no problem. The other three, became a problem and had to go. That was really an extraordinary exception where we basically adjusted to different payments because of the health crisis. But yeah, over than that, we're actually back now to full payments, no partial payments. And again, professional tenants will in California, right? They'll miss a month. You'll file eviction. You'll get a court case. They'll be down 2 months, 2.5 months. They'll say, "Hey, I'll pay half right now," and you're like, "Oh, I can catch up." Nope, don't take it.
It starts the eviction process all over
All
again.
over.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, just don't do it.
And
Never, don't take them.
and people always say, you'll have tenants say, but we're roommates. We're friends. Can we each pay 50-50? And I've seen some exceptions with that, but from your perspective, it's so easy. Like I can Venmo my friend in 2 seconds, like my roommate. It's so easy to do. And so why don't they use those consumer apps to do that? And you set the policy of, I don't care which one of you pays, how much you pay, you're jointly responsible on this
Exactly.
lease agreement. One of you has to click that pay button and the other needs to pay. And you're responsible for making sure you guys have allocated and gotten the payments as necessary.
Yeah, I mean, roommates. Again, if I were to have roommates into one of my, they would both be equally liable, right? If one of them doesn't pay, doesn't matter to me. They're both going to be held responsible. So
Yeah, you're not their father. You're
Nope.
not the one to go through their drama of whatever they have.
Not my problem.
And when there's conflict with the roommates, highly recommend they're jointly responsible. They need to figure that out. That's not your responsibility. Yours is just as the total lease. They're responsible for that relationship with you.
Yeah. And again, folks, if you want to play with this, Dana was nice enough to have a 30-day POC and actually a script that she created. You can get the script in my free program. You can get a whole collection of videos in the paid program. But where should they go to get the 30-day trial?
Yeah, go to www.hemlane.com. You'll see that in the corner here and of the video. So it's HEMLANE.com. And just mention Michael Zuber or One Rental at a Time because you get 20% off your first year after the free trial.
Very cool. Well, again, folks, I get a lot of questions from new landlords. So like, hey, I got my buy box. I'm doing the work, but what else I can do? I have more energy and excitement. Go download the trial, pretend to be a landlord, see what it's all about. So Dana, thank you very much for your time this week. Have a wonderful, wonderful couple of weeks.
Great. Thanks so much, Michael, for having me.
You got it.